Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Ben Speaks TV. I have a really good one for you guys today. Today, I am going to be reacting to um, two videos here called "Crooked Cops Caught Planting Drugs on Citizens," and these are innocent victims. And these crooked cops, as we will see in these videos, are going to be planting drugs on innocent people. And without further ado, let's get started.
It's a little bit of weed.
Body camera footage obtained by the Intercept shows a Staten Island police officer apparently planting marijuana in a car during a traffic stop. The incident comes just a few weeks after a similar one, originally reported by the New York Times, in which the same cop was again caught by his body camera in the apparent act of planting marijuana in a car.
Yo, he put something in my car, yo!
Alright, this was in the back seat on the floor. Said marijuana cigarette. It's lit.
In the more recent incident, two
This is crazy. How in the world do we have the same cop planting drugs on people and he got caught twice? How in the world is this police officer still on the police force in the same freaking police station? And I can definitely tell you this is not an isolated incident. If this cop is in the same precinct doing this, planting drugs on people over and over and over again, and he's getting caught, and nothing is being done about this. This guy, this is definitely not the first time that he's done this. Actually, it is not the first time that he's done this because we've seen, as the video just mentioned, that this is the second time that he's doing it. But I can 100% guarantee you this is not the second time that he's doing it. He's done it multiple times. This is the second time that he got caught. And how in the world is this guy still on the police force? The whole um the whole police department needs to be investigated in this instance because this is just ridiculous for the same guy to be planting drugs on people. First of all, how where is he getting all of these drugs from? And second of all, he's driving around with drugs on him at all times. How are these people not getting drug tested on a regular basis? If this guy is getting caught with drugs, how is he not getting drug tested all the time? And these citizens then it'll seriously start suing these people and start suing the whole system, the whole police station. Like these people literally need to get a good lawyer on their side and start suing these people because this is ridiculous. This is just the beginning of the video when this guy he already got caught twice planting weed on people. This is just ridiculous.
officers pulled over passenger Jason Serrano and a friend for a broken taillight. As the officers approached the car and the driver rolled down the window, the officers claimed the car smelled like weed and ordered both people out of the car.
The car smells like marijuana, so we're gonna check it. All right? Okay, and then what? Fix it. There's nothing in the car. You'll be good to go. All right?
Always call them out on their BS. If they tell you this car smell like something and you know clearly there is nothing in there, or if you do know there is something in there, that's even more reason to not consent to the search. And she over here, being all goofy and stuff, talking about okay, you don't say okay to them saying that they want to violate your Fourth Amendment right. This is literally your right not to be searched. The Fourth Amendment said that you don't have to be searched, and you have to assert your right not to be searched. And these people, they want to violate your right, and he is already going into the search in bad faith. You can't just tell me if you don't have anything to hide, let them search your car. No, you shouldn't let them search your car because these people are not acting in good faith. If they are acting in good faith and want to search your car to see that nothing is inside the car, then and these people are the ones putting something in your car when there was not and when there were nothing in the car to begin with, you should really not let the police search your car under any circumstances at all. I think it is just a bad idea to let the police to search your car.
Serrano was recovering from abdominal surgery after being stabbed. He lifts his shirt to reveal his wound to one of the officers.
I don't want to see that right now, okay?
I can get out. I can barely move, bro.
Once out of the car, the officers demand to search Serrano's jacket, and he refuses.
Do me a favor. Give me the jacket.
There's nothing in my jacket. I'm not getting
My
searched
man.
for no reason.
My man.
As Serrano grows agitated, the officers become more aggressive.
Come on, relax.
Relax.
I can, yo, yo, yo,
Relax,
yo, yo,
relax,
yo, yo,
relax,
yo, 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 yo,
relax,
yo.
relax.
Yo,
They grab him, push him to the ground and handcuff him.
Take him down. Take him down. Take him down. Take him down. Take him down.
Yo,
Relax. Relax.
Serrano remains on the ground, handcuffed and in visible pain for the rest of the traffic stop until an ambulance arrives to take him to the hospital.
Can someone call an ambulance?
The two officers, Kyle Erickson and Elmer Pastran, begin searching the car and Serrano's jacket.
These people are literally the people that you don't want interacting with you. How can you get pulled over and then let these people to search your car? You should literally never let these people to search your car because you are just asking for a disaster to happen. These people, some of them want to get into drug enforcement, and these are the reasons why they want to be planting drugs on people to begin with just so they can get a promotion. And these, especially the police chief in this instance, should be investigated because he definitely know what is going on in his police station. At least if he doesn't know that, that means he is incompetent and he needs to be released from that position. If someone doesn't know that this is going on, and after it's happened the first time, he just let this guy to keep roaming the streets and nothing happens to this guy needs to be I'm talking about the freaking police chief. He needs to be released from duty because this is totally unacceptable how these people can just keep planting drugs on people and expect to get away with it, and nothing ever happens to these people.
Officer Erickson tells Pastran that they need to find evidence.
Searching the rest of the car.
Yeah, we gotta find something.
Officer Erickson begins searching the car. He searches the passenger side area first. When he finds nothing, he can be heard murmuring an expletive. Erickson returns to Pastran to ask.
Should I search the whole thing? Or what do you
Yeah,
think?
search the whole thing.
He returns to the passenger side and searches through Serrano's jacket, the cup holder, and the center console. As he continues searching the rest of the car, the driver approaches.
I knew I should search my car. Because, like, what is he doing? Like,
There you go. Finally, she speaks up for herself. You have to advocate for yourself in these instances. How can you literally from the get-go tell these people, I do not consent to the search of my vehicle? And you have to stand on that. And if they do search it, that means you have already not consented to the search, which means this is an illegal search. And these people and citizens should have the right to be in plain view while they are searching the vehicle. People should be able to watch these people to make sure that they don't plant drugs in their car, because if you are sitting in the back of the police car, you don't know what is going on in your car, and these people could literally pull out anything and put it in your car, and this is unacceptable. People have to be able to watch and see that these people are not planting drugs on them.
Ma'am, stand back.
why? What are you doing?
Erickson looks back at Pastran, visibly agitated.
See nothing.
It's alright.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After several minutes searching the car, Erickson again admits that he hasn't found anything.
Nothing?
I don't see anything.
Yeah. You said it's a truck? I'll get it for you.
15 seconds later, Erickson returns to the front seat cup holder and sets something down.
It's a little bit of weed.
Wow, this is
It's a little
ridiculous.
bit of weed.
This is ridiculous. This guy is literally going around planting weed on people. First of all, where is he getting all of these drugs from? Where is he getting these drugs from? And this is a failure on the part of the police chief. These people should be investigated. Every single person in that whole freaking police precinct should be investigated, including the police chief. Because if the person on the highest level is letting this to happen and the person is encouraging it, and why are these police officers driving around with drugs to begin with? And this guy is driving around with drugs and then planting it on people. How in the world is this happening? Citizens should literally, whenever this type of goofy behavior happens, people should just band together and protest this stuff, because this right here shouldn't be happening, because these people are literally just trying to get along with the days, and these people pull them over and they are looking for something to put on them. Not only are they looking for something to put on them, now they are actively planting the drugs on them.
Weird.
Erickson continues searching through the center console, where he's already looked. A minute or so later, he again sounds agitated.
Good?
Erickson shakes his head as he continues fiddling through Serrano's jacket, just out of the camera's view. A couple minutes later, the two officers say they found wheat flakes in Serrano's jacket.
Flakes everywhere, though.
Yeah, no, he had weed. You could see his weed here.
At the end of the search, Erickson turns to Pastran.
You good? We're good?
The officer
Okay, let's take a good look at the crooked face of the villains in this story. These two freaking idiots right here are going around planting drugs on people. These people should literally be charged and locked up. And anything less is an injustice on the part of the victims. These people, I'm going to call them victims because these people are unsuspecting people who are just driving, getting along with their day, and they meet these two idiots right here who plant drugs on them. This right here, these people should be fined. Not only should they be fined, they should be charged and convicted for this goofy behavior right here because no one deserves to have something planted on them. And these people, their whole lives are uprooted and they are probably going to go to jail or something and they have to pay a whole bunch of fines. And this is going to be on their record for years to come. These people, every time that they have to go on a freaking job interview, they have to answer the questions. Why is this? Why do you have a drug record in your freaking record? Why were you possessing drugs? Well, I wasn't possessing drugs. These freaking goofy police officers are planting drugs on people, and people have to spend money on lawyers just to get this out of their record because these people are planting drugs on them. This right here, all of these people right here should be locked up, and anything less, the citizens should not stand for this.
then fist bump each other. The few words exchanged between the two officers during the search are almost identical to those they exchanged during the search just a few weeks earlier.
Yeah. We had a fight. You know what I mean?
On that occasion, too, the search had ended with Erickson asking Pastran.
Good? Yeah.
Okay.
An ambulance finally arrives to pick up Serrano. He spends the next 5 days handcuffed in a hospital room, waiting for.
Wow, that's crazy. How can someone who just had the surgery, he was freaking sitting on the sidewalk in pain the whole freaking time while they were planting drugs on their car, and this guy is sitting there in pain and they are over there planting drugs on people, and this guy, and then he goes to the hospital and then he is handcuffed in jail for freaking 5 days, and these people, and he is gonna get the freaking medical bill that's gonna come in the mail and that thing is gonna be tens of thousands of dollars, and these people are gonna get away scot-free, and these people are not even gonna have to pay for the medical bill. And how is this justice in the United States? We should demand that this type of behavior right here, we should petition our Congress people to criminalize this type of behaviors right here from cops, and this right here shouldn't be
his
happening.
abdominal wound to close. Serrano took a plea deal to avoid jail time and didn't learn of this body cam's footage existence until after he pleaded guilty. The video, which didn't emerge for nearly 2 years, underscores the limited information available not just to the public but also defendants, and validates criticism by police accountability advocates that body cameras are of little use if the evidence they capture remains inaccessible. The NYPD.
So these people take a plea deal and they don't have to get charged. They don't have to go to jail, right? But if a regular citizen do anything close to this, the person is definitely gonna go to jail. And these people can just take a plea deal and nothing ever happens to them. How is this justice right here?
NYPD declined to comment on this incident.
A little bit of weed.
Erickson and Pastran remain on patrol.
There's nothing to say. The video speaks for itself. I didn't have no marijuana on me. I didn't have no weed. I didn't have no drugs. I wasn't driving. Wasn't my car. The tail light wasn't broke. I had no reason to at all. Besides harassment.
Wow, these people are literally, these two people right here. I want you to take a good look at these two people right here. They are the villains in this story. How are the citizens supposed to trust the police when the police are the ones freaking doing all of this and breaking the trust between the police and the citizens? How are people supposed to trust the police when the police are the people planting drugs on citizens? All right, I got a second story for you guys here. All right, so this one
I did not
is
put
about.
narcotics here.
Let me pause this real quick. So this one is about a cop who actually, the victims do get justice in this one, and this is what accountability looks like. This cop right here, he went years planting drugs on people. This wasn't just a one-off or two-off like the last guy. This one right here, this guy, he planted drugs on people for years, and finally it caught up to him. All right, let's check this one out.
First up, we head to Jackson County, Florida, for the trial of Zachary Wester. The former sheriff's deputy was charged with 67 counts of racketeering, fabricating evidence, false imprisonment, and possession.
Wow, look at this. This right here is what you call a rap sheet right here. Look at this. 67 counts of racketeering, fabricating evidence, false imprisonment, possession of controlled substance. If a regular citizen do half of this, if you do half of this right here, 67 counts, if you do even two of these, you will be in prison for a long, long time. But this guy, they're probably going to give him a slap on the wrist too, just like the last guy. This is ridiculous. How are police officers always getting away with BS like this?
Of controlled substances. Wester's accused of planting drugs in a dozen vehicles during random traffic stops.
A substance that appears to be an illegal narcotic. Do you know anything about that?
I do not.
All of the drivers denied owning the drugs, but yet most were subsequently arrested.
You have the right to remain silent.
The arrest caused suspicion internally, and in 2018, Wester was suspended. 3 years later, the case went to trial. He pleaded not guilty to all charges.
This is a case about an abuse of an incredible power, about the abuse of the incredible trust that we all put, and we have to put, in law enforcement in a society.
The prosecution relied on the defendant's own body cam footage to help argue their case. Stephen Van, a convicted felon, had recently gotten out of jail when Wester supposedly found methamphetamine in his car.
Have you ever seen this before?
No, what is that?
I'm just trying to figure out how that stuff got in your car.
Well, I'll tell you how it got in his car. It got in his car because you are a crooked cop who planted the stuff in his car. How are these people just riding around with drugs in their police patrol vehicle? That's one question that I really want to know. If these people are riding around every day in their police patrol vehicle and they are being convicted and they are being found out every time, we see the body cams every time, and these people, we see this all the time, and the police chief is still not releasing these people, which means the police chief is complicit in this whole situation. The police chief, if this right here become something that happens all the time, this right here becomes normalized, and this shouldn't be normalized because the police chief should be fired whenever, if this happens over and over and over and over again. By the third time, I would be like, okay, if I was the mayor in that city, and the mayor, not only is the police chief complicit in this whole situation, the mayor is complicit because the mayor supposed to know what is going on in his or her city, and these people are just letting this freaking goofy behavior to continue. All of them should be fired.
You're gonna go to jail today for possession of methamphetamine, okay?
Oh man, dude, I'm serious, dude. Anything, what you want me to do, man?
Like the other drivers who testified, Van gave the officer permission to search his car because he claims he had nothing to hide.
And I knew my truck was clean. I knew it was.
Exactly. You should never consent for the freaking police to search your car. There's zero circumstances where you should be allowing the police to search your car. And these people will try to make you feel bad and be like, if you have nothing to hide, why don't you just let us to search your vehicle? If I have nothing to hide, why are you trying so hard to search my vehicle? Maybe you have an ulterior motives, and that is exactly why I don't have to let you search my vehicle. The Fourth Amendment literally says that you don't have to let the police to search your vehicle. Why are people allowing this goofy behavior to happen? Because people don't know their rights. And the sooner people start realizing that they can flat out refuse for the police to search them, the sooner that less of this will be happening, because people allow this and the police take advantage of it, because half of the time, or about, let's say 70% of the time, people are not even going to question it. These people are just going to be like, hey, go ahead and search my vehicle. Like this guy just said, I have nothing to hide, so you can just go ahead and search me. Why would you allow the police to search you when you know this is what they are capable of doing? And this is not a one-off thing or something that recently started happening. This is something that's been happening for a long time. The police are literally not trustworthy. Everything they do, from the moment that they pull you over or from the moment that they detain you, their whole thing is to get you arrested or give you a ticket if you get pulled over. So the police are literally not your friend. I don't care what you say, unless I mean, unless you're the police in your family, obviously, then you probably have no choice but to love the person because they are family. But the police, if you encounter someone that is a police officer in public, you should just automatically assume that the person is not your friend, and the person is probably never going to be your friend unless you meet them outside of the uniform. Because when they pull you over or when they detain you in uniform, your whole goal is to keep your mouth shut and try to end that interaction as soon as possible, because these people are only interested in taking you to jail or giving you a ticket. And this right here, there is no way that it ends well for you. So you should never talk to the police, and you should never let them search you or your vehicle or your personal belonging in any way, shape, or form. You should terminate the interaction. You should be asking them, am I free to go? Am I free to go? And if they tell you that you're not free to go, ask them, what am I being detained for? And this is an unlawful detainment. If you have not done anything wrong, tell them this is an unlawful detainment and I do not consent to this encounter. And you should be trying to terminate that encounter as soon as possible.
While the jury got to watch most of the traffic stops, some recordings had mysteriously disappeared.
Why in the world would that have been deleted?
I wish I knew that answer.
Ironically, body cam footage would become the strongest element in the prosecution's case, especially when it came to Teresa Odom.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
At first, the officer's polite, even playful.
Anything in the vehicle I need to be concerned about? Bombs, hand grenades, rocket launchers? Okay.
While Odom stands behind the vehicle, Wester begins his search. Notice as he prepares to put his gloves on, there's a small item in his left hand. Prosecutors argue that Wester is palming a small bag of meth, which he claims to find next to a spoon in the vehicle.
Miss Odom.
It is yogurt, sir.
I know. Okay.
It's yogurt.
How about this, though?
That is not mine. No, sir.
Okay.
Now, the white small plastic baggie that was in that spoon that the deputy just showed you on this video, had you ever seen that before?
No, sir.
Was that in your car?
No, sir.
As far as motive, the prosecution claims the 28-year-old officer was ambitious and wanted to move to narcotics as quickly as possible.
I told you earlier, this is literally the reason right here why these people are planning drugs on people, because they want to get promoted, they want to move up, and they are planning drugs on people. You should never, under any circumstances in your freaking life, allow the police to search your vehicle, because these people, you can never trust them. They will plant something in your car and have you convinced that you put it in your car. And meanwhile, now you gotta hire a lawyer, you gotta go through hoops just to get this off your record, because you're gonna get arrested for sure, and then you're gonna get charged for drug possession, and now you're gonna have this on your record for freaking 5 to 10 years. And all of this right here could have been avoided if you could have just said no to allowing the police to search your vehicle. You should never allow the police to search your car in under any circumstances at all.
Wester testified he never planted any drugs.
The drugs were there. I did not put the narcotics there.
And after 5 days and several witnesses, the jury was asked to render a verdict. If Wester's found guilty on all charges, he could spend the rest of his life behind bars. After 7 hours, the jury returns with its verdict.
In the state of Florida versus Zachary.
And this is crazy though, how the police can lie on the oath, and half of the time nothing happens to them. But if a citizen lies on the oath, the person goes to prison. How in the world can the police lie on the oath and lie to the citizens, but the citizens are not allowed to lie to the police, and they are not allowed to lie in court? If the police can lie to the citizens and lie in court, the citizens should have the same rights to lie to the police. And I'm not telling you to lie, but you should. There is something called lying by omission. You literally don't have to talk. You don't have to tell them the truth. And if you don't talk, you are technically not lying, because if you don't answer the question, or if you withhold the truth, you are technically not lying, because you're not lying by not talking, right? And if these people can lie, the citizens should be allowed to reciprocate it and lie to the police also, because these people lie on the oath every day. Like we saw right now, he's literally in court and talking about that he didn't do it. He didn't plant the drugs when we just saw it on video. How did you not plant the drugs when we just saw you planting the drugs on the freaking innocent people, and you're here lying about it, looking like a freaking goofy person? And now let's see what the verdict is going to be, if this guy is finally going to be held accountable, because the last two freaking police officers, they just let him go without, putting anything on them. And this right here is ridiculous. And the citizens, this right here will not continue for too long. If people finally wake up and be like, hey, we're not going to put up with this. If a police officer plants drugs on citizens, that person must go to prison. And people have to stand on that.
Tyler Wester, we the jury find as follows as to the counts charged and the information. Count 1, guilty of racketeering as charged.
The clerk went on to read the verdicts on all 67 charges.
Count 7, guilty of official misconduct as charged.
In total, the crooked officer was found guilty on 19 charges.
Count 9, guilty of official misconduct as charged. Count 10, guilty of official misconduct as charged,
including misconduct in the arrests of Van and Teresa Odom. 11 of the 12 drivers filed civil lawsuits against Wester. In July 2021, he was sentenced to 12 and a half years in a state prison.
Finally, we get some kind of justice. How are these people gonna keep getting away with this all the time, and the citizens have no rights in these instances? All right. With that being said, this is my monologue on crooked cops. And this monologue is called No Room for Dirty Cops. Let me tell you something straight up. What we just watched isn't just shocking, it's disgusting. It's a betrayal on the badge, the oath, and the trust that the public places in the police officers every single day. Planting drugs on innocent citizens is not a mistake. It's not a lapse in judgment. It's a calculated, premeditated crime, and it should be treated as crime. And the fact that some of these officers are allowed to return to work with no consequences, like we saw with the first two officers who planted drugs on people and then were permitted to go back to work with no consequences at all. This right here should tell us that we all should rise up and hold the police accountable every time they plant drugs on people. And the fact that some of these people are allowed to go back to work, that's the real crime against justice. Let's break it down. When a cop plants drugs, they aren't just framing people, they are destroying lives. And think about it, a false arrest can lead to job loss, a criminal record, shattered families, and years of fighting a system that wasn't designed to believe you in the first place. These people believe the police before they believe you. But it doesn't stop there. Every single time an officer plants drugs, they undermine the credibility of every good cop out there. They poison the well of trust between law enforcement and the community. And trust, once it's gone, it's nearly impossible to rebuild. Now, let's talk about consequences. Officer, if you are an officer sworn to uphold the law and you break the law by planting drugs on people, especially by planting evidence that shouldn't be there to begin with, you shouldn't be just be fired. You shouldn't just get a slap on the wrist. You need to face the same justice you try to deny someone else. That means prison time. That means a permanent record, no pension, no second chance to ruin someone else's life, like we saw in the video time and time after again. Accountability isn't optional. We need independent investigation. When accusation like this arises, not internal reviews when officers protect their own. This is like saying, I'm going to investigate myself and I'm going to find that I did nothing wrong. How can you expect the same people who planted drugs on people to investigate themselves and expect them to persecute themselves? This is ridiculous. We need body cams that don't mysteriously malfunction at critical moments. And most importantly, we need laws with teeth. Laws that make it clear if you plant evidence, if you plant drugs on citizens, you will be held accountable. And these police officers shouldn't be held on a different standard than the citizens should be held. Because if we don't hold these police officers accountable, this will keep happening. Innocent people will keep going to jail for drugs that the police officers planted on them. Families will keep getting torn apart. Communities will keep losing faith on the police officers. And that's not just a problem, it's a crisis. So let me be clear, there is no room in law enforcement for dirty cops. Zero. None. And it's up to us, every single one of us, the public, to demand better from the police officers who patrol our streets. If they plant drugs on people, they should be locked up and there should be no excuses on that. We need to demand better, to demand transparency, to demand justice, because when the system fails, we have to hold it accountable. We have to hold all of these police officers and the elected officials accountable because we are the citizens who pay their salary. This isn't just about Zachary, the crooked police officer who kept planting drugs on people until they finally caught up to him, or the victims in these videos. It's about every person out there who believes in a fair system. It's about making sure no one else has their life destroyed by those who were supposed to protect them. Justice isn't when it's only for the privileged few. It's time to clean house. And it starts by sending a message. Planting drugs isn't just misconduct, it's a crime. And it ends now. And we, the citizens, need to demand accountability from the police officers. If a police officer plant drug on a citizen, we need to demand that that police officer be locked up in a long time. There is zero excuses. There is zero excuses, and there is zero reason why a police officer should be riding around in the freaking police cruiser planting drugs on citizens. And these people want to get promoted, and they want to get promoted not by doing their work and earning the promotion. they want to get promoted by planting drugs on people. And when these people, when they get a whole freaking rap sheet of people going to prison and their lives getting destroyed, these people get promoted by doing the wrong things. And they not only should the police officers who plant drugs on people should be arrested and charged and go to prison, the freaking police chiefs who are allowing these freaking goofy behaviors to happen should be charged also. Because there is no way that a freaking police chief who sees this happening, seeing his officers playing drugs on people, and the evidence comes out, and this freaking police chief tell his officers to go right back to duty with no freaking discipline at all. These freaking police chiefs should be charged also because they are freaking complicit in this whole situation. And the citizens should not stand for this. We will not stand for this, and we should demand that these people be charged and they should go to prison for planting drugs on people. This is literally a crime. How can the citizens let this to keep going on year after year, decade after decade, and nobody ever does anything about this? And if you ever get pulled over, there is zero reason why you should be allowing the police officers to search your car. You literally have the Fourth Amendment to protect you from these crooked people who want to plant drugs on you. And if you trust a police officer, you are part of the problem. If you think that this person in uniform, unless this person is explicitly there for a particular reason, which doesn't have to do with a traffic stop, you should never allow the police to search your car. And you should never allow the police to search you, because allowing police officers to search you leads to them planting drugs on you, and you should leave zero rooms for these freaking goofy behaviors to happen in the first place. All right. Thank you all for watching. As you can tell, I'm literally mad for these people in these videos that we just saw, because these people, their lives are going to be destroyed, and now they're going to have to spend freaking thousands of dollars just to get a good lawyer to expunge all of this freaking charges that's been brought on them now. And this will follow them for years. Every time these people get a job, they're going to have to write a sworn statement talking about why did you have drugs in your car. When these people didn't have drugs in their car, these people are these freaking police officers are planting drugs in them, and they are getting away with it. And it's about time that the citizens rise up and say any police officer who planned drugs on people should be arrested, should be charged, and that police officer should go to prison. And there is zero accountability with these people because they think they are above the law, and the citizens need to rise up and let them know that they are not above the law. There are good cops out there, but we have to get to a place where the good cops challenge the bad cops who are planting drugs on citizens to begin with. All right, as you can tell, I am literally my blood is almost boiling for these people who didn't do anything wrong, but it's freaking police officers are planting drugs on them. All right, thank you all for watching. I am Ben. This is Ben Speaks TV. Subscribe to the channel, and you will see the next time I go live. And I will keep covering topics like this. And your likes and subscription will motivate me to keep making videos like this. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace. And never let a police officer to search your car.